So it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and now that I have my new microphone set up, I figure, why not? I'll make a YouTube video and see how it sounds. So today I'll be talking about a teacher that I had in elementary school who was pretty much able to go from 0 to 100 instantly. And while this topic isn't exactly unique, since I'm pretty sure there exists plenty of teachers that can flip out really easily, and some of them probably have been documented by other YouTubers, I thought I would just share my own first-hand experience with this kind of stuff. So to begin, I'll introduce the teacher in question, and her name was Miss Belvedere. I honestly can't believe I still remember her name. And man, was this lady a piece of work. If I remember correctly, she got pretty annoyed and would yell at you if you did something stupid or answer one of her questions wrong. And since we were just kids at the time, both of those things happened a fair amount of times. Because of that, most kids in our class, especially the Asian ones, were really afraid to answer any questions she posed in class. And before any of you complain, I'm not singling out Asians because somehow I have a grudge against a group of people that I'm technically a part of, but more to do with the fact that from my experience, the Asian kids I met were usually pretty timid. They didn't really put up their hands to answer stuff unless they were certain they could get it right. But yeah, most kids were afraid to answer questions, and this led to many situations where the class pretty much had to defuse a bomb, but most were too afraid to even go up to it. So that little introduction out of the way, I guess I'll get into the little encounters I had with her. They aren't long, but hopefully they'll be interesting. So there was this one time where we finished the test a few days back and I did really bad. I have no idea why, nor do I remember what it was even about. Maybe it was geography because I'm a complete ass at that subject. Anyways, since I did really shit on that test, I had to get it signed, and I did not want to do that. Not only because it was pointless, I mean it's elementary school, come on, but my parents usually flipped out whenever I did poorly on a test in school. Since I didn't want to face that, I thought, why don't I try and forge my parents' signature? I'm pretty sure if I did it decently enough and practiced enough, I could get away with it. And that's what I did. I went home with a pen in hand and I got another one of my shit tests that were signed from before, and I honed my legally questionable ability. Nope. You wanna know what I did? I printed my mom's full name on the very back of the test. And it wasn't even on an even surface. It was on this shitty plastic table that had a crack in it. Yeah, I printed my mom's name and thought that was going to fool the teacher. If I could go back to see my old self, I would honestly just punch him in the face, really hard. Anyways, to nobody's surprise, I didn't fool her and she yelled at me throughout the entire class. While I would say that she should have kept things private between me and her rather than broadcasting it to the entire class, I would say that in that situation, my old self deserved it and then some. Okay, so just a little note, in hindsight, I thought I had a lot more stories to talk about, but it turns out I don't. I only had 2. Anyways, so the second story that I'm going to talk about, and the final story for that matter, is this little occurrence that happened in grade 6. And just for a little bit of background information, in case you don't know or aren't familiar, in Ontario there's this little test called the EQAO, which happens at grade 3, 6, 9, and 12. It basically evaluates proficiency in basic reading and writing skills. Anyways, on the morning that the EQAO test was scheduled, little me got up and I was getting prepared. So after all that, I just head out to school like normal, and some time goes by and then our class was called on to write the test. There were multiple rooms that different classes were allocated to, with teachers invigilating each one. So I walk into my test room, and guess who's supervising? Miss fucking Mozeli. So I sit down, not paying too much mind to her, and then I just began writing my test normal. Partway through the test, I had to sneeze, so naturally I'm like, well, just fucking do it, no one cares. And I did. But right after that sneeze, Miss Mozeli gives me this really strong death stare and she tells me to be quiet in the most annoyed voice ever. Granted, she wasn't yelling at me, but she said it in the most annoyed tone ever, and it was just loud enough for people to look up at her and not at me, thank goodness. Anyways, I had a short moment of embarrassment, but it wasn't too bad in the end. Anyways, that wraps up that story, and consequently that wraps up this video. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, comment, like, subscribe, and do all that stuff, and if you're commenting, you can tell me what I should do next, because honestly I can't think of too many ideas at this point, so I wouldn't mind some direction. Anyways, that's it. See you guys later.